Right, Kenny. Kenny, you want some energy?
Yeah.
All right, and rock and roll has the Godfather, James Brown. Tritium Niagara has the Godfather, Ed Merwin. Ed Merwin from Tritium, welcome to, wait a minute, this is your show.
That's
Hey,
right.
we're glad to be
welcome
your
you
show,
guys.
Ed.
Well, we're certainly glad that Controltrends is here. We appreciate your support of the event, and good to see you guys again as always. So.
It is awesome, and I tell you what, last night was off the chain.
It sure was. I don't remember ever seeing a good police escort anywhere, but that was a lot of fun coming out of the hotel with a Mardi Gras that just in full fashion. It felt like it was at the Mardi Gras. I mean, just it was so exciting. And then to walk into that Champions Square and have that incredible amphitheater type of environment with 1,300 people, all excited. Nino's kicked it off very well. It was an awesome start.
Yeah, it was great.
So you were talking about the police escort before the event last night, not the one that happened after Bourbon Street last night? But Ed, so the theme, great kickoff session this morning. So sort of recap the theme with Nino and John and the rest of the crew.
Well, we really were trying to talk about, everybody's been talking about analytics, they've been talking about the edge, and they're talking about the cloud. So I thought what everybody did a really good job was explaining what the real value proposition was. I just thought it was a great transition with Nino talking about how important all this is, our business is changing, new players in our business that are here. And then I thought John did a great job of sitting there and teaching people about, tagging and explaining it in a way that everybody could understand, and then Pranay picking up on it and talking about the edge and the cloud, and a really great example about how going to the cloud, getting a VAV box application, dropping it in there using your cell phone. So I thought it really brought it all together and got people understanding this is what I need to look for when I'm here, and to go to all the different sessions that talk about edge, cloud, and analytics, and then come to the booths and see all the great people we have here. And we certainly talked about the community too, and how important the big players are in the community, and people that have been doing the really cool jobs, and how we've been doing IoT for many, many years. Not it's a buzzword, but we've been doing it since 2000, 2000. So I thought it was a great start. I think one of the best ones we've ever had.
I would agree with that. And Ed, for our listeners out there, as you know, we have a lot of users that tune in and watch Controltrends. Explain to them why Edge and Cloud are so important. I mean, to an owner, why should they care?
Well, I think they're going to care because it's coming, right? You got a thermostat. You can go to Home Depot right now and you get a Wi-Fi based thermostat that jumps right to the cloud, right? And it seems like residential always picks up sooner than commercial. But think about the fact that I'll be able to get a quick device off the shelf, maybe in inventory, go to Stromquist and pick one up off the shelf. I put it in my building, and it automatically phones home and says, this is what I am. I'm a Vision Pro thermostat, and I want to do this, so load me up and get me connected. That's really where it's going to head. It's just going to be a lot easier. And the why we can do that is that microprocessors are so prolific now. Mike James, one of our great engineers in Richmond, has got Niagara running on a Raspberry Pi, right? And we're talking about, Nino said today, $3 device running Niagara. That's a game changer. Yeah. So, and then people they want to make sure that they want to have other people worry about their servers and that sort of thing. So people are getting used to cloud. They're using Amazon, they're using all these other services and buying music online in Apple. So it's kind of a natural. And it might be hard for us, the three of us, but it's a lot easier for the younger folks that are coming into the business, and that's where it's headed. So we better get used to that.
Well, speaking of that, the growing community, growing global community, because I've seen people from all 5, 6 continents here. What was the number at the boot camp? I mean, that was one of the most impressive facts and figures. When you have that many people coming, they're excited about the future.
It's amazing. We had 360 people sign up for the boot camp. And people said, I had one of our great customers come and said, you know what, I may not understand everything that's there, but I said, I'm not going to pass up an event where some of the top trainers and developers are in the room. It's an event they had to go see and glean some. Some people, got a whole lot out of it, and some people just got an understanding this is where it's going. And in the future, it's going to be the community that creates all these really cool products. Look at how many people we have on the show floor today. We have a lot more people, and that's what it's all about. It's a developer community. And it's just been great to see these technical people that are here and just trying to learn so much. That's what's unique about this one so far.
Well, to me, Ed, it feels a lot like, again, we're all youngsters here, so we sort of remember when the computers came out and Microsoft had DOS programming and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, a little company called Apple comes along completely changed the game. I mean, you look at the iTunes store, the fact you can buy apps and stuff like that. I mean, the closest comparison I can draw to what you guys are doing is what sort of happened between Microsoft and Apple. I mean, there's been tons of control people out there, but you guys are just changing the game.
Well, we're trying to keep up with it. You know, I always tell everybody, you know, I think we're successful because we're always looking over our shoulder, right? Because we've done some really cool things, and we're really, with the help of the community, of supporting us. But we have to stay fresh, right? Nino talked about disruption. Okay, so people can get disrupted really easy. Look at what Uber did, right, to the transportation industry. So we just have to make sure that we're in the forefront. And when you have great people and great technology and a great community, that's how you stay ahead. And that's, if you look at everybody that is being disruptive, there's always a community behind it that's pushing it. And with things like the marketplace, where we're trying to get our own kind of app stores getting up there, so people can show what they've got. And think of all these developers now that if they create something really cool, they can go to the marketplace and start getting themselves out there, and people understand and selling it. So exciting.
Very, very exciting.
Well, I don't want to digress, but we have to ask you about how you feel about Niagara 4, about the JS 8000, how people have responded to that.
You know, we went out of the gate in December, and we've been running like crazy ever since. I mean, the numbers are just exploding, and the take-up is incredible. And I was around at R2 Days, and I saw the R2 to AX, and we had a great uptake. But the acceleration of N4 is incredible. And if you look at all the end users now that are specifying, I mean, there's jobs out there from the U.S. government and from the military that are saying, we want N4, because they just don't want to go back. They know they want to move forward. Great things like the cybersecurity that's built in and all the different features. People are really liking the new features. Now we can run analytics and analytics inside the J's. Those are the things that are really driving people fast. And I think we're going to see a major adoption much faster than we did even from R2 to AX.
Well, I tell you what, what's encouraging to me is we're seeing more consulting engineers showing up at this. A special shout out to Donnie Walker from Newcomb and Boyd in Atlanta. He's been coming to these things. He gets it. He's specifying the stuff, because at a certain level it starts with the specifications. And Ken, you had an engineer that's here.
Jim Birch, he can't get enough. After the sessions, somebody asked a question. He tracked him down to get further clarification of why that was so important and why that he had to get a better understanding of it. But I agree that Niagara 4 has been a game changer. It's opened everybody's eyes up. The cybersecurity being number one. As Eric always says, we track the trends, and cybersecurity just keeps that's number one. But analytics, and getting the full value out of actionable data is incredible.
I moderated a session today on smart building design, and we had 3 great consulting engineering firms there, and we had a packed session, and we talked everything from how their business has changed over the past 5 years, and a lot of it has to do with IT and cybersecurity. We talked about how commissioning is making the play, and one of the big things they said is analytics is going to be so important to commissioning, because we have to build in some of these rules, so before we even get to the commissioning stage, we're going to know if something's not working right. Yeah. So I've always had, loved working with the consulting engineering community, and we have so many of them here, and again, a great session to discuss that, and people get it. So, and their business is changing just like everybody else's. You talk about disruption. They're offering a lot of new services, and buildings are getting more complex, so you have more complex design, and then more complex commissioning, and complex life cycle. Sure. It's a life cycle now. It's not just turn the building over and walk away. You kind of work with that customer forever.
So we're here at the Niagara Summit, the nucleus of the Smart Building Controls Renaissance, and all this great that's happening. We're talking to the godfather himself, Ed Merwin. Ed, thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with us, buddy.
Always great to have you guys here. We really appreciate what you're doing for the community, and the education. Everybody really now has a place to go online, get really great education, stay up on it. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Ed.
Okay, guys.